share our experience and our interviews with you in the hopes that we can all learn a little something from this. And one of the things that I think is really a neat topic that people don't talk about enough is the managing up concept that we talked about with Marianne O'Connell in her interview, and how she had someone in her life who came to her at just the right moment of life and managed her up so well that she didn't even know she needed it, or she didn't even know she needed to be managed in any way. But I think it's a great concept, and I think it happens more often than we recognize. So what about that do you think is so important?
Well, I love the concept too that Marianne O'Connell from FranWise was talking about, because 95% of our careers, we are subordinates to someone, right? Mm-hmm. And if we need something done, or we want to facilitate something, we have to learn to manage up, right? We're not always in a position where we can tell other people what to do. And the experience that she talked about was where she had a colleague, Kelly, who managed her while she was going through some difficult times, and literally got the job done by being good at managing her boss. Kelly was good at managing Mary Ann. And I thought it was absolutely brilliant, because we don't usually think of that. We always think kind of, more patriarchal, top-down patriarchal kind of way of thinking. And here's someone who was using more a bottom up that says, okay, here's the goal, here's where we're going. My boss is kind of, crazy right now.
She's having a moment.
She's having a moment, right? And Marianne told us this. We're not speaking out of school here. Marianne said she had a moment. And Kelly then kind of guided her to a place that made some sense. So I love it. I love it. I'm going to be more conscious of it and try to do more of it myself.
Well, I think so. And I think that when you, like, here's a good example for us with the coterie that we're starting. We have hired a couple of little guys to help us. And I feel like they do that in some ways. They watch out for things. Hey, did you see this? This needs a little work, or is this functioning properly? Let's make sure that it is, or keeping you on track for things. Like, you get so busy with the big picture that sometimes a detail or two might fall through the crack. And so I think that empowers your people when they know you trust them to check behind you, or point something out that's not exactly the way that it should be, or has an idea. Oh, I saw this wonderful trend. Why don't we implement that? I mean, those are different than managing up, but I think it all plays into that, making sure that the people that are your support are empowered to be that support. And I think it speaks a lot to Kelly that she was self-assured enough to do that for Marianne, but it also speaks a lot to Marianne that she recognized it and was willing to go with it.
She recognized it after the fact. She didn't even know at the time, but she recognized it after the fact. But I think the thing that's really kind of cool, both about Sherry Rose and Marianne O'Connell, is this idea, if you have the right team in place that has your back, it allows you to do what you do. You're not having to micromanage. Mm-hmm. In fact, in some ways, your subordinates and your team should be managing you, offloading some things and guiding you to some point. And in this case, it was a wonderful example. And the example you gave of our two marketing guys, and our ambassadors, is just that, where they see things that we may be blind in, and they manage up to help us accomplish things that we've set forth. This is what we want to do. We may not know how to get there, but they're able to kind of slowly move us in a particular direction. So we're still guiding. Marianne was still guiding. She was still the leader, but Kelly was saying, oh, you're not going to get there going that direction. How about if we go this way?
And ours are still pretty young and in the formative years of their experience. And so I find it fun because they are self-assured. I think that's a quality that you need to be one of those people who can manage up. You have to be confident. You have to be willing to put something out there, even if it's a no, and not be, hurt by it, but just continue to put those ideas out there. And so to me, the mutual benefit is really kind of a fun dynamic, because
Mhm.
people are pushing you in the direction you need to go, and you're pulling them with you.
At the same time.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a very interesting dynamic. So I think we're going to be good at this.
I do too.
Yeah.
Well, and it's because I think we enjoy it. I think when you really enjoy the relationship,
Yeah,
it's fun.
it's fun. Absolutely. Okay, I think we should write a whole book or talk Marianne into writing a book about this managing up. Anyone who has a comment, a thought about situations where you yourself have managed up, where you've gotten your superiors to move in a particular direction or diffused a situation, tell us about your situation in the spaces below or whatever you're supposed to do. We would love, we would love to hear from you. In the meantime, we got to wrap up Women in the Know, and we'll see you next week for some more Women in the Know ideas.